Hello everybody, Marie by Design here, and this is going to be my last creative video before Christmas now, and then I'll come back either just before the new year or it will be in the new year. I'll have to see how busy I am because I'm still designing and creating. Okay, so last night I did a video of showing you how to prepare my paper beads. Okay, on the video I showed you how I was measuring out the paper bead, and what I used was, as I said in the video, I used some paper backing. It's very thin cardboard. You can do paper beads using a more stiff cardboard, but I think you need to make sure it's as thin as possible so it easily bends and forms into a bead. So that's what I did in my video last night, and I was saying they were paper beads. What I should have said was the paper strips, which then turn into paper beads, because I wasn't actually making paper beads last night. I was doing the strips of card to make the paper beads. So use magazines, you can use old packaging as I have, paper pads, brochures that come through the door. You could even do them using old envelopes and things, anything that you can find to make a paper bead. But this is one of my paper beads, paper strands, that I'm going to turn into a paper bead now, and I'll show you how to use my beading tool, which I bought off the internet, with some paper strips that were already designed, and I thought, hang on, I'm going to make my own. So that's what I did. I measured it out in the video. I said 2 centimeters at the top, and then you get your metal ruler. A metal ruler is best to make the paper beads because you can't slip, because it's got a foam backing on the back of the ruler, which really helps you to get stability while you're penciling out your paper bead strips. Okay, so this is my paper bead tool. I will be making my own tools for the new year. I just got some mold thermal plastic into using water, and use it to make molds. But as I said in the video, I would have to order some more of it, because 4 sticks wasn't enough to make a mold, as I found out in the video. So please go back and watch that video. So what I'm going to do in the new year is I'm going to make my own handles, and I'll show you. I'll do those, and I will hopefully, if they're successful, I will hopefully be selling those tools, because I've bought the spring tips, these things. I have bought some of those in a pack, and they've got a slot in them, slot pins. So I've seen somebody making another tool, but they weren't using the slot pins, they were using something else, and I didn't quite think that was quite right myself. So these are slot pins, because the other ones, which I was looking to buy, the little tips to make my paper beads, the paper would have come through the other end. With these slot spring pins, they don't come out the other side. So that's what I've bought. So hopefully I'll be doing that in the new year. Okay, So what you need to do is get that end into your slot, okay, and I'm going to show you tonight how to make paper beads with using the paper strips I made last night. So go and watch that video, showing you how I made the paper strips. Okay, so I've put that in. I'm just gonna, when it's in the slot, I'm just gonna start let's come out again, make sure it goes into the slot. Okay, hold it. The key is to hold as you roll. Make sure you're keeping it tight, or like it. So you just keep rolling, keeping your paper taut. These are really good. Hang on, I'm going to have to go back because I've come off that somewhat. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that back into the slot again. I mean, I haven't been doing these for very long. You do have to make sure you keep your paper taut and within that, otherwise it's quite a bit awkward to get back in. Okay, start again. Make sure it's in the crevice. This is why you need one of these rather opposed to the other branded pins that you can buy. Just make sure that you're following it round, because what you want to do, go slowly to begin with, making sure that's taut so you get a pattern each end as you're rolling it on, so that you get it each end. If you only do it one end, you're going to have one lopsided bead. So keep it in the middle if you can at all times while you're rolling, so then it doesn't go off pieced, as that happened to me, just so that your bead doesn't go off to one side. So you keep it, so then you get the pattern. Try and keep your bead to the center if you can. That's looking better now. That's a lot better. I haven't been doing this for very long, as I say, but you need to try and keep your paper center so you get a nice beaded shape, otherwise it goes off. It's doing it again. Try and keep it in the middle if you can, because if you keep going off to one side, it's going to turn out one-sided, and you don't want that. There is an art to this. See, my hands are starting to, I've got to put my gloves on, I think, for this, because I do have problems. I need my stress gloves, which I have to use for crocheting and for, yeah, just make sure you, that's it, just, oh, it's coming undone again because I've moved it. Just slide it over a bit so you're keeping that pattern going and it's not all going to one side. Keep it going, just wiggling it a bit, that's it, back on track. Just remember to keep it in the middle, keep it tight at all times. Okay, so then when you've done this bead, okay, see it's going off again, that's it. If it does that, just shove it a little bit so it goes back in the center, And as you, yeah, that's working better now, but just make sure you keep it in the center. Sorry folks, my hands are okay. Just make sure you're keeping your bead at the center so it doesn't go off, and then it'll make your bead it won't be good at the ends. So make sure you keep it in at the center. There is an art to these paper beads. See, now that's a lot better than having it one-sided, because you have a nice pattern at the end of your bead, providing you've kept it straight in the middle. Okay, that is oh, I'm really impressed with this. I've made oh, see, no, don't let it go, because you'll wreck the shape of the bead. If you need a break, just make sure you keep it on, and I'll show you how to apply the glue in a moment. Come off there a bit, that's it, I've pushed it back on. Make sure that you don't let go, otherwise you're gonna have to probably one, undo it, or two, you know, so don't let it go. But if your hands do hurt, put some stress gloves on. I should have done that to begin with, but I'm trying it. Just try and keep it taut as much as possible and keep it in the middle, or you'll lose your bead. Well, that's turning out really nice now. And just to say, you may get some print off. If it is printed card, you may get some of the colour off, as I did last night when I was trying to you know, I got some of the colour off on my hands. So right, now we're getting to the end of our bead. Now that is where I want it to be. Okay, that's gone off slightly. Okay, that's nice now. That's just as I want it. Okay, now when you get to the end, okay, when you get to the end, it's a nice relaxing craft. This is making your own beads. Don't pull it off yet. Okay, get some of your glue. Get yourself, if you want to have a go at these paper beads making your own, okay, I recommend you get one of these bottles, because they have a fine tip on them, and this is just normal PVA glue. They have a fine tip on them. Okay, that glue should still be okay. Okay, and what I'm going to do while it's still on the while it's still on there, I'm going to just add a very fine drop of glue. Don't put too much. Is that going to come out, or have I got to unseal the hole? That should not have dried. My glue's dried. Oh, I need a pin. This shouldn't happen, but if it does, just get yourself a sharp just get yourself a remat to put into the hole, or a pin. calls for a pin, not a bead rim. It's too thick. Okay, that's too thick. Okay, I need a little pin. Have I got any pins up here? No. I think I'm not sure if that's going to come out now. Oh, it's because I've got glue. My glue, for some strange reason, has gone and dried, and it shouldn't have done that, because these bottles are not meant to dry out. Here's me telling you to get to get yourself one of these bottles, and for some reason it's gone and dried. My glue has, so I need a pin. Let me I don't know why it's done that. I really don't. That is so disappointing. Now I need a pin. Okay, let me see if I've got a pin in my sewing. Oh, I know, I should have a pin in my sewing box. I'm just going to have to put a pin in there. Oh, I've just dropped my pin now. Excuse me, folks. Okay. I'm going to have to try and put the pin in there, and hopefully hope that unblocks my hole. So I've got a blockage somewhat. Ah, there you go. Hopefully my glue will come out now. Please come out. Come on. This is the problem. This really shouldn't be happening. Is it coming out? Oh dear. Sorry about this, everybody, but this shouldn't be doing this. Sorry about this. My hole is obviously blocked up. I don't know why. Yeah, it is. It's blocked up. Hang on. Where's my pin gone? Oh dear. This isn't very successful, is it? I tell you what, because this is playing up on the video and my glue has got, I'm going to use my paintbrush. That's what, if this happens to you, just use a paintbrush. It shouldn't have happened. So here's me telling you to get these bottles, because the glue won't dry out. I've had that cap on and that shouldn't have happened. Okay, I'm just hoping, put a small amount of glue on. Okay. Oh no, it still hasn't. Oh no, it's coming undone. It's coming undone. That shouldn't have happened. Okay, this video isn't going very well, is it? It could be because it needs holding with my fingers. Just make, yes, it's gluing down now. It's okay. You need to hold your paper strip for a few seconds. Now that's stuck now. That's it. So top tip, hold it. Oh, it's coming undone now. Hold it for a few seconds. But until your bead is dried, do not attempt to take it off your bead roller until that tab has stuck down, because once, if that comes unstuck, your bead will start unrolling. So leave it on your bead roller until it's dried, until the glue is stuck. Okay, but make sure you put enough glue on, but not too much. And now I've tried raising that up and it's not going anywhere, so that is okay. So the more you practice making beads, the more. Now that has made an interesting bead, that really has. That's my own paper bead I made, and that's made quite a chunky bead. Now when I used, see, this is paper, okay, that's paper, and that makes a smaller bead because it's not so thick. This is backing off, so it's a bit thicker than the paper. So if you use card, I think you're going to get more chunky beads. So experiment, because this is very thin card. So as I've rolled, and because it's that size, I mean, let's have a look and compare it. Compare my strip of card with this and see if it's the same size. It is. It's the same size. Okay, but is it the same length? Let's have a look if it's the same. Yes, it's the same length. It's the same length. So, you know, it has, because it's a thicker card, it has made a thicker bead. That's not bad, but I've only done this once or twice. I can't even find the beads I've made. I've made 2 beads and I don't know where I've put them. I've put them in a clear bag so I could put all my other beads that I make into a clear bag. I need a box really. I don't know where I've put those beads, but I made, see, this paper came with this bead tool. Okay, so find yourself that on eBay, I suggest, where the pattern paper is with the bead roller. Find that and get yourself some PVA glue. But this, for some unknown reason, their nozzle got chock-a-block. So I recommend sticking a pin in the top of it as well. I'm going to do that in a minute in this video. I'm just waiting for this paper bead to finish drying. Just give it a couple of seconds. That made an interesting bead, didn't it? Oh, I don't know what's wrong with this camera, but it keeps on focusing in and out, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Trying to get it in, it's a bit out of focus. I do apologise. I'm going to have a look at the settings on this camera. Anyway, that is my paper bead. Oh dear. Okay, that's made an interesting bead. Now what I need to do is, when I've made a few more of these, I'll come back and show you how to coat them to protect them. So I'll come back possibly just after Christmas, I think. Give me until I've had Boxing Day, and then I'll come back and I'll coat the beads. I'll make a few more after this video finishes, and then I'll come back and show you what beads I've made. Okay, what beads I've made, and I'll show you how to coat them and put a glittery finish. I've got tons of different nail polishes, some glittery, some that do crackle. Now that'll be interesting. I've got some crackle nail polishes that I could put it on. I'll get a crackle effect on them and then varnish them. So I'll perhaps do that with some crackle effect polishes and some with glitter, and I'll seal them on another video and show you how to do that. Okay, but I'm thinking before I end this video I can take that off now, and all you do is you just slowly twist and it'll come off. Oh no, is it? It's not opening up, is it? Please, because that would be a disaster, wouldn't it? Something's wrong here. It is a bit lopsided. I'm trying to pull this off. Yeah, it's worked. Okay, so that's my bead. It's pretty neat, isn't it? It's come out a bit more on the one side, but it is a bit wonky in the centre, so perhaps make sure that I get it to the centre a bit more. But that has made an interesting bead, hasn't it? And that's using my own strips that I cut off a piece of backing card. I would say this backing card, right, is about I would say it's about, I wouldn't have said it was 300 GSM. I wouldn't go 300 GSM with card. Perhaps a 170 with card to 200. I don't know if 220 would be okay, but any higher above 220, I think you're pushing it, because it needs to be pliable still. If you're doing this technique and using it out of say poster, there was some backing on my son's poster, so that's where I've got this cardboard from. But this is very thin, but I would say this is about, could be even an 180 GSM. I don't know because it doesn't say. But I wouldn't go any higher than 220. No, because you've got to be able to twist it. I mean, it was feeling a bit on the stiff side even with this, because it is thicker than paper. But as I say, the beading tool comes with strips of paper if you look for that. So I will do a few more, and then in another video just after Christmas I'll show you how to coat them and protect them. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this pin, okay, because my glue has gone and got stuck in the hole. Let me see if I can use this wipe and clean this out while I'm on, and I'll give you a verdict if it's worked. Don't do this, you'd have to run it under the tap, but I've got a plug of glue, that's why it's not and I don't know how that happened. It must be because my central heating. Yeah, that glue's gone and dried. That shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't happen with these glue bottles, but as a precaution, what I would do, yeah, see, the glue's dried. What I would do, I've had the top on as well. Yeah, look, it's a plug of glue. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. Yeah, it's gone and oh, yeah, it's drying on. That shouldn't have happened, because that's why these bottles are made for, you know, that's why these bottles are designed like this, because they're not meant to dry out your glue. Your glue is meant to stay, you know, flowing in these bottles. So I'm glad I did this video now so I could show you if you have this problem with these bottles. They are good, it's just the fact that for some unknown reason, and I don't know why, because I've had the lid on the whole time, my heating has made a plug, and as I say, that shouldn't have happened. Let me just double make sure that glue's out while I'm on video. I need a longer, there we go, a longer needle so I can get in. But if this does happen to you, I would take your top off and run it under the tap to unblock it. But you shouldn't have to do this. You really shouldn't have to do this. It should. There you go. I've unblocked the hole now. But that should not have happened. Right. Now, so that this doesn't happen again, I would, as an added little job to do, I would put a pin in. Now I know that they can block up, I would still put a pin in. Oh, my pin's bent, my needle's bent. I'm just going to, yeah, look, I've got a great big plug of glue there. Yeah, that should not have happened. Yeah, that's why there's the glue's dried in the top. That shouldn't have happened. At least I've yeah, at least I've discovered that while I've been on filming this video. I'm just going to get that plug out. It's driving me mad now, this is, because that's why I bought these bottles, so this wouldn't happen unless I didn't have the lid on top on what's it, or it just goes to show you from buying from Temu. This is, don't buy them off Temu. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Nah, I'm gonna buy from a reputable company next time. That's what you get, I suppose. Buy cheap, buy twice. That's what they say. I suppose that's what you get for buying off Temu. They did not keep my glue. What's it so? They're poorly made, these are. Right, hopefully, I just hope all that glue hasn't dried now. Hopefully, what I'm going to do is, I've tightened that some more, but I am still, as a precaution, going to put a pin in it. Yeah, don't buy from Temu, please, because that's just took me quite some time to, what's it that I've put a pin in the top. Now, if you buy from a reputable company, I think they give you the pin as well. Now, this lid, right, was supposed to protect. Is my pin still going to go on? No, see, because I've put a pin in. Oh no, I've got it the wrong way. What am I doing? Right, is my pin still going to go in that lid? Yes. Okay, you can put a pin on. If you buy these cheap bottles, just put a pin in the top. If you do buy them from Temu, I'm not saying what's it, but I have had some problems with Temu. Really. With one thing and another. I've done a couple of videos on it. But yeah, I've managed to get a pin in there, just to keep the hole open. Okay. Just to keep the hole open, so that the glue hopefully won't clog again. We'll see next time. And I'll let you know if that happens. Next time I do my video and I've made a few beads, I'll let you know if that trick worked. Because somebody said it would work. But obviously if you've bought the bottles from a proper company and not Temu, you shouldn't have that problem anyway. But I think they supply you with a pin anyway. I think they do. But get it from a reputable blooming craft company. Forget Temu. And the other problem with Temu is, well, I unsubscribed from their emails and they're still managing to get in. That's how lousy it is. Anyway, so that's enough of Temu. I've stopped shopping, so I'm not bothering again. Right, they still manage to get through even though you've unsubscribed from their emails. It's disgusting. It really is. But there you go. Anyway, that's my bead finished. But as I say, they do take some time to get to master rolling the beads so it stays in the middle. And the aim, I think, is to keep the tension. But if you, I'll show you how to coat the top coat onto them and get some effects onto them. So if you like, sorry folks, if you like today's video, please subscribe and thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.